I wanted to talk about my optometrist, Dean Fernari. My optometrist, Dean, who is mad at me for using the car wash across the street, upsold my 15-year-old son, Phil, on transition lenses. I don't know if you know what transition lenses are. They're those lenses that are supposed to get darker when you go outside in the sun, but they don't get real dark. They just get kind of dark, and you can still see the person's eyes behind them. And no matter what the person wearing them tries to do, they always look like they're trying to spy on you from the bushes. So yesterday, I walk in his bedroom, and he's wearing these transition lenses that make him look like he was fired from a library somewhere for licking books or something. You know, these things just make him look super suspicious. No one should put a 15-year-old kid in transition lenses. I mean, you talk about sealing someone's fate. Give a kid a chance before you turn him into a hitchhiker with mugshots all over the country. You know, it reminds me of when parents name their kids after some jazz trumpet player or something from the 50s or 60s. You hear them at a park, you know, calling to their kids, and the kid's name something like Gillespie or something. That kid doesn't deserve that. You named your kid Dizzy Gillespie, Paul Simon Garfunkel? Peterson. Yeah, that's his grandfather's name. I mean, you can't let your kid find his own identity? I mean, we get it. You have one of those really expensive analog stereos and you like jazz vinyl. But come on, no one wants to grow up named Cat Stevens Coltrane, and no one wants to look back at their yearbook picture from high school and see a guy in a pair of transition lenses. You know, you see that and you go, I guess your parents weren't looking out for you, were they? Let's just let our kids create their own personality, and let's not put them in transition lenses, and let's not name them Guns N' Roses. They deserve better than either of those things. I walk into my son's room the other day, and he's sitting at his desk looking like a guy waiting to meet his parole officer in these glasses. So I recorded it. Let me just play it for you. Hey.
Hey.
Are those your new glasses?
Yeah, are they still dark?
They're a little dark.
I don't really know what to do because they're weird. I would take them off, but I can't see without them, so I'm stuck in this state of either being blind or weird.
Did you just come in from the outside? Are they still changing to clear, maybe?
If anything, these get darker when I go inside.
You're fine. You're fine.
Do not pretend that I am fine.
Okay.
I am not fine. I look weird.
Okay, yeah, obviously not ideal.
Of course they're not ideal. Ideal would be me looking like a normal person. I look like someone who's been following you.
Okay, so you heard that, and he's not wrong. They look weird, and I feel bad for him. He won't go outside. His friends, he said, won't ride bikes with him. And here's another thing. Dean is an optometrist to just about everybody in this neighborhood. And if you walk around, everyone's got transition lenses on. I mean, I don't know if there's a way to measure what the highest concentration of transition lenses is in the United States. The Rancho Equestrian District in Burbank has to be up there somewhere. And it's not just that he's got everybody in these transition lenses. He's selling them these weird frames. Nick, the guy that ran into the car wash, he's wearing a pair of those like perfectly circular glasses. You know those circular glasses I'm talking about? They're perfectly circular. John Lennon wore them. But these ones are sort of like tinted purple bluish. Remember, he looks like Gary Oldman in Dracula. Remember those purple glasses Gary Oldman was wearing when he played Dracula? They're these transitions that are kind of like pinkish purplish, and they're perfectly circular. I mean, look, Prince could wear those, but, you know, Nick can't wear them. And I went through some phases where I wore some weird stuff, but I never put a pair of glasses like that on. Nick used to look like an adult man. Now he looks like an RA in a college dorm who's like a part-time brand ambassador for a hacky sack company. You know those Fire Stick guys? There's always a stoner in college that goes through a phase of wearing those glasses and getting really good at hacky sack and frisbee and stuff. You know, the guy that buys the bongos. I think everyone's experienced a bongo roommate at some point. Nice guy, probably should have spent a couple more years in high school. I mean, you talk about something that should be illegal in a college dorm. You want to sell me on a college that I'm going to send my son to, tell me that bongos are not allowed on campus and the check is in the mail. And now Nick looks like one of these bongo guys. And I'm just saying, that's just one thing I never would have done. I never would have put a pair of glasses like that on. In high school, I did wear a bolo tie for about a week and a half, but it was torn off of me and thrown in a urinal. And it was a nice bolo tie. It had turquoise on it. I don't know why I was wearing it. I wanted to try something different. And the point is, I get it. We try different stuff. You know, we go through phases in our life. But at some point, that bolo tie has got to get torn off. I mean, hopefully you take it off yourself and it isn't torn from your neck by a girl you had a crush on that it turns out really didn't like you and was kind of a bully. I was madly in love with this girl. I had no idea how she had it out for me. Every time I see a bolo tie, I think about Julie in 10th grade tearing that thing off my neck and marching into the men's bathroom and throwing it in the urinal, laughing all the way. And you know what's weird? Years later, I connected with her on Facebook, and she was going through a divorce. I took her to dinner to help her get through it, and she got mad at me for paying for dinner. I want to say, do you remember that you threw my bolo tie in the urinal? I don't think she remembered. And the whole dinner, she's talking about how bad this guy was that she married, and the whole time I was just kind of on his side. But I'm getting off the point. Nick's got to take those glasses off. And that's what Dean's doing, is he's putting all these weird glasses on everyone in the neighborhood. You know, they've all got these weird off-brand frames, and they're all transitions. He's got the whole neighborhood looking like a Tim Burton movie. I mean, you talk about a cast of Harry Dean Stanton characters. Walk down Riverside to the park on the corner on Beechwood. It's like some weird Terry Gilliam movie about suburban dystopia. If I didn't live here, I'd think I found a cult. One of my neighbors, Mike Bianca, he's an accountant. Neck down, that's what he looks like. Neck up, he looks like some kind of steampunk fusion bass player guy. And this is what Dean's doing, to the neighborhood. You talk about this car wash across the street that people are mad about. What about these weird glasses Dean's putting on everyone's head?